At the beginning of the story, we see a group of terrorists traveling in several vehicles with small children. These children were taken from a local convoy in the same area. The terrorists had abducted them to increase their own power, planning to train them through
brutal and dangerous methods from a young age. But what they didn't know was that skilled Turkish snipers were hidden at their destination. They were about to learn just how deadly these marksmen could be. As soon as the convoy approached, sniper shots rang out from nowhere, one after another. In seconds, the terrorists were struck down, their forces collapsing before they even realized what had happened. Within just 30 seconds, the snipers had wiped out every single one of them. Unbelievable, isn't it? Let's count the kills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All gone in moments. After the chaos, the leader of the sniper unit stepped out from hiding. His name was Captain Vizbasi. We soon discovered that this commando captain had a long and bitter history with this particular terrorist group. Their conflict wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Behind their rivalry lay more than one tragic story. So let's go back to where it all began. In a flashback, on a dark and rainy night, two Turkish commandos, Yasar and Demir, were hiding in a dense forest.
Their only companion was Yasar's loyal military dog, Messi. They weren't there by accident. During an earlier patrol, their team had been ambushed by a local terrorist group. All their fellow commandos were killed in the attack. Only Yasar and Demir managed to survive.
Taking cover behind parked vehicles and fighting back. Meanwhile, the brave dog Messi was helping them by collecting weapons from fallen enemies and bringing them bullets. Yes, this dog wasn't just a pet, he was a true soldier. Back at the base, another commando named Karan
was requesting permission from General Osman to rescue the two trapped soldiers. The general approved the mission and Karen's rescue team set out during the night. By dawn, they reached the combat zone and began tracking Yasar and Demir's location. At the same time,
Yasar and Demir feared another enemy assault. Out of bullets, they prepared to fight with knives. Just then, the enemy appeared. But before they could strike, Karan's team opened fire from behind, taking them by surprise. Hearing the gunfire, the dog Messi barked loudly.
That's when Karen realized his men were close by. He called out their names, and Yasar and Demir finally knew they were safe. They came out from behind the vehicles and warned Karen that there was a nearby enemy camp, preparing for another attack. Karen quickly led his team toward the extraction helicopter. But suddenly, the terrorists launched RPGs, scattering the soldiers in every direction. And this is where the real deadly mission began. Karen divides his team into 3 groups. One team positions itself with a sniper. The other 2 teams hide in the
grass, scanning for enemies. One by one, the enemies start falling to precise headshots. Then a sudden bullet strikes one of Karen's commandos in the chest. Karen immediately orders everyone to retreat and carry the wounded soldier to the helicopter.
Meanwhile, Yasser calls out for his loyal dog Messi, but Messi doesn't move. Yasser runs toward him, lifts him up, and rushes to the helicopter. At the same time, Karan continues to hunt down enemies hidden in the grass, eliminating them one after another. Once everyone is aboard the helicopter, the injured commando receives first aid. The team begins their return to base, but then Karan notices Yasser's leg bleeding heavily. Soon they realize the heartbreaking truth. During the crossfire, a bullet had also hit Messi in the stomach, and the brave dog hadn't shown any sign of pain. Yasser looks down to see his beloved companion lying lifeless in his lap. The love of such innocent creatures is truly pure and selfless. They sacrifice their lives without hesitation for those they love. Everyone tries to console Yasser. Even in victory, he carries deep sorrow back to base. In the next scene, we meet a Turkish female commando named Yasmin Albi. She departs for Azerbaijan as most of the terrorist groups threatening Turkey have roots there. Her mission is to seek cooperation and permission from the Azerbaijani military. On her way, she reviews files of Turkey's best-trained commandos to decide who should lead the next critical operation. While going through the files, she comes across Karan's record, the same hero from our story. She immediately calls him to ask if he's ready for the mission. Karan confidently replies that he'll be ready the moment the order
arrives. For him, there's no compromise when it comes to protecting the nation. No matter who the enemy is, his rifle won't hesitate before taking them down. Little does he know this one decision will change everything. Hearing Karan's response, Commando Yasmin selects him for the deadly mission. She contacts her general and recommends that Karan be given full command of the operation. Meanwhile, Karan understands he's about to face one of the most dangerous gangs in the region. He knows he has no choice but to see it through. Later, he meets Yasser and Demir. Yasser is still grieving the loss of his loyal dog, Messi. Karan motivates him and urges both men to prepare for the mission ahead. At the same time, the general begins briefing his lieutenant on the details of the upcoming operation. Meanwhile, Yasmin
reaches Azerbaijan and
after securing military approval, begins her journey back to Turkey. But midair, her helicopter comes under heavy RPG fire. The aircraft spirals out of control and crashes hard into the ground. As the smoke clears, the surviving commandos crawl out of the wreckage. They see Armed Azerbaijani gang members approaching fast, firing from their vehicles. To survive, the commandos return fire with precision. The gang leader mounts a heavy machine gun and unleashes a barrage of bullets. The commander spots rounds striking the helicopter's fuel tank. Realizing the situation is about to turn catastrophic, he immediately pulls the pilot away from the helicopter. At that exact moment, the fuel tank explodes with a massive blast. The explosion throws both the commando and the pilot several feet away, leaving them unconscious.
A while later, the same terrorist gang arrives at the crash site and revives them. The gang leader mistakes the pilot for a senior officer and demands to know their connection with the Azran military, but the pilot truly knows nothing. When he refuses to answer, the gang leader executes him on the spot.
With a blank shot, seeing this brutal act, the commander grabs his weapon and opens fire. He takes down 3 or 4 terrorists before he is overpowered. The remaining gang members capture him and drag him to their hideout. Meanwhile, the lieutenant informs Karen that Turkey's most wanted terrorist, Gore, is also hiding at the same base. No matter who the enemy is, foreign or local, they will face justice. The lieutenant authorizes the mission immediately. Before leaving, Karan decides to visit his family. It's here we learn that Karan once had an elder brother who was also a commando. That brother went on a mission against this very same gang and never returned. Karan's mother begs him not to go, fearing she will lose another son. But Karan explains to her that he must do this for his country, to rid it of those who threaten its peace. He assures her that this mission isn't just his duty, it's his purpose. After an emotional farewell, Karan returns to his unit and begins preparing for battle. Karan briefs his team about the mission and makes them swear an oath. No one will retreat until their last breath. With determination in their eyes, the commanders move out. They climb through rough mountain terrain and reach the target zone. There they set up sniper positions, watching every movement of the enemy camp below. Through his scope, Karan spots several vehicles.
Approaching. Among them is a notorious terrorist named Ogar. Karan asks his spotter for the wind speed and distance. The spotter quickly calculates the data. Karan takes aim, fires a precise shot, and hits the target directly in the head. The rest of the team attacks from